Welcome to the Self-Growth Nerds podcast, where we help you embrace the most courageous version of yourself. My name is Marie, and I'm an adventure seeker who is obsessed with following the joy and creating more freedom. If you're eager for deep conversations, big questions, and meaningful connection, join me on the quest to discovering how we can live a more magical and memorable life. Hello nerds, how are you feeling today? I'm good, and I want to talk to you about something a little bit depressing today. I want to talk about feeling like a loser. You know those moments or periods of time when you are down on yourself, when you just want to wear your ugliest, comfiest sweatpants and hoodie. When you feel like complaining about every single thing and life seems meaningless and heavy. When you're in the middle of it, it feels like it's never going to end, right? Sometimes it has to do with something that's happening in our lives. Other times it's our menstruation cycle. And it can also be related to a chemical imbalance in our brains. That being said, I want to look at where our power lies in those moments. What if, in many cases, we created unnecessary suffering on top of the suffering that's already there? What if we were not the victim of those awful feelings, but the creators? Not in the sense that it's our own fault. Not at all. It's the fault of the way we have been programmed in our society. But it's all good news, because if we contribute to creating those feelings, then it means we can also change them. So first, let's look into how we make ourselves feel like losers, and then we're going to dig into the why. Before we begin, quick disclaimer. The point of this is not to feel happy all the time. That's not what the human experience is about. Life is made of good and bad, happy and sad. We need one to appreciate the other. The point is simply to release unnecessary suffering. One of the popular ways we use to generate more suffering is that we make circumstances mean something about our core. We attach meaning to a neutral situation. We subconsciously make conclusions that are not helpful to our well-being. Let me give you an example. One day I read somewhere that highly successful people wake up at 5 a.m. and take a cold shower. I want to be successful, right? Therefore, I thought, I guess I should start waking up earlier. But I'm not an early bird. And no matter how much I tried, I hated it. I love to start working around 10 a.m., take a break in the afternoon, and then work late at night. So I would wake up at 8 or 9 and feel terrible about myself. I had thoughts like, I guess I don't have what it takes to be successful. And those thoughts made me want to stay in bed later, stay in my pajamas all day, skip a shower, things like that. I felt like a loser. Until one day I heard a person I admired, which was quite successful, say that she woke up late all the time. And suddenly the cognitive dissonance was deafening. Cognitive dissonance is when two contradicting ideas meet in our minds and our brain cannot process. I thought, perhaps the 5 a.m. stuff is not true? But true or not is never the question. The question is always, is this belief helpful? Let's dig deeper into it by asking one powerful question that I encourage you all to ask yourself every day. And this question is, why is this important to me? So, why was it so important to me to wake up at 5 a.m.? Because I wanted to be successful. Why is it important to me to be successful? Well, I was raised to be a good girl, to study hard, and to value good grades. I guess I define my worth based on my accomplishments. So then what happens when I wake up at 9 a.m.? What do I make it mean? This is another powerful question to ask yourself. What do you make it mean? I make it mean that I'm not worthy, that I'm a loser. And with those thoughts come an awful feeling of heaviness and worthlessness. If that is not unnecessary suffering, I don't know what is. We cannot hate ourselves into improvement. Or we can, if we want to burn out. We can all force ourselves to do something that's not aligned with who we are. But this drains our core until it's empty of all its energy. So, if you find yourself feeling like a loser, here's what you can do. Number 1, identify the belief that is causing all this internal chaos by asking why. Or by asking, so what? I wake up late, so what? So what is a great question to challenge your ego. For me, the hidden belief was I will only be worthy when I wake up at 5 a.m. Number 2, decide if that's a belief you want to hold on to. No need to argue about whether it's true or not. Truth does not matter. What kind of reality does this belief create? Does it help you become the person you wish to be? That's what matters. Do you like the person you are when you believe this? Number 3, if the answer is no, I want to move on from that belief, then you gotta choose a different belief. It's up to you. I decided to go with some successful people wake up late. That one felt good to me, but I needed to practice because my brain still kind of believed that it would be better if I did actually wake up early. Both beliefs existed in my brain for a while, and the old one was confused. Like, we used to berate ourselves and now we don't? What's happening? I had to tell the old belief, look, you're not welcomed here anymore. Please pack your things and go. Thank you very much. Until it eventually was like, okay, I give up. You've proven me right. But it still comes for a visit sometimes. One thing that is crucial to note is that if you do still think you want to change the behavior in question, you have to first be able to love yourself while you do the behavior. And then from a place of love, you can decide if you truly want to change it or not. It's not the other way around. It's not, I'm going to love myself once I wake up early. That, my friends, is a trap. It's, I love myself whatever time I wake up at. And then, from there, I choose what is the best time for me to wake up at to achieve my goals. 2 extra examples before we move on. You're organizing a dinner party for your birthday and you invite 15 people. Forget about COVID for the sake of this. Let's say it's outside in the park and only 3 people show up. You feel like a loser. Is this necessary suffering? No. You're taking the neutral circumstance of 3 people showing up and coming up with the unhelpful conclusion that people don't care and that you are not loved. The result? You spend all evening being sad and not fully present with the 3 friends that did show up because they love you. Another example for my future thru hikers out there. You decided to attempt the PCT and told everyone about how you were going to cross the United States on foot. You come home after 2 weeks for whatever reason. You got injured or it just wasn't for you. You feel like a loser. Is this necessary suffering? No. You can be sad about how it turned out. Sure, you can be disappointed. But don't make a circumstance mean something about your character as a person. Same goes if you do an FKT, a speed record, and hike the trail in 3 months or something. You're not worth more than someone else. Hiking fast doesn't make you superior to someone who gives up after 2 weeks. Basing your worth on a circumstance is just plain dangerous. Rapid fire examples I hear all the time are things like, I'm single at my age, so something's gotta be wrong with me. I have very little savings because I'm bad with money. I'm not going to start anything because I never finish stuff. You get to decide the conclusion you want to make every time. Why not make it mean something that makes you feel good? Like, I'm single and I'm so grateful that it's allowed me to get to know myself so well. I have little savings, but that's okay because now is a great time to start learning about money. I'm going to start this new thing and make sure I finish it this time. Again, why choose a conclusion that makes you feel shitty when you could choose one that makes you want to get up and take action towards your dreams? Which brings me to part 2 of this episode. Why the hell do we keep making ourselves feel shitty if it doesn't lead us in the direction we want to go in? Well, one of the reasons is because it's comforting, the same way a rainy day can feel good. Now, if someone were to ask me, do you like feeling like a loser? I would of course say no, but with a bit of self-awareness, you will notice that your body actually craves this feeling like a drug. We all have a negative go-to state. Mine is melancholia. For some, it's anger. For others, it's meanness. Try to identify what yours is. And then notice how your body wants its dose. My body wants its dose of melancholia. When I try to practice healthier behaviors, it's like, we usually get mopey when that kind of thing happens and we go on the sofa and watch sad movies for hours. What are you doing going for a stupid run? Get us back to the sofa and be sad. It's like an urge, just like when you want to look at your phone. If you usually complain about other people every time you feel bad about yourself, for example, and then suddenly you decide it's time to change and to practice compassion, your brain and body are going to be like, hello, we usually bitch about how stupid people are and it feels good. What are you doing being so annoyingly nice? It's not like you. Start bitching now. You can feel a pull inside yourself to tap into this behavior and a relief when you do. Ah, yes, like the bitching feels good or the moping feels good, right? Try to notice that. And then you get annoyed because you cannot seem to change. But only once you will acknowledge how your quote-unquote bad behaviors or habits bring you comfort can you start truly implementing ways to replace them. But you've got to be willing to sit with the discomfort. Same exact feeling as when you're waiting on a text and your hand just wants to reach for the phone. Breathe in, breathe out, jump into the new behavior what you want to adopt and let the urge pass. And over time, it will get easier. Remember, it's a momentary feeling. It will pass. All right. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you need support. I'll be happy to chat with you about how my one-on-one coaching could help you get out of your quote-unquote bad behaviors or habits. I say quote-unquote because it's never good or bad. It's always just, is it helpful? Does it get you closer to your goals? Does it make you become the person that you want to be? So if you need help with that, let me know. I have some spots open for one-on-one coaching and I'd be happy to guide you on this journey. And it's never a journey in self-improvement. I believe you have everything in you. It's just a matter of removing the layers of programming and tapping into that core self of yours. Okay, enough for today. Have a beautiful week, my friends. Bye-bye! You just listened to the Self-Growth Nerds podcast. I hope you enjoyed. We publish an episode every Monday, so make sure to subscribe if you want to be notified. I want to thank my friend Etienne Galano for editing this, and I want to thank you, kind-hearted souls, for doing the inner work necessary to grow into your truest self and make the world a better, more beautiful place. My name is Marie, and I will talk to you next week.